What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. I want to say a massive thank you first of all for 2,000 subscribers on the channel. That is absolutely insane. Today I'm coming at you with the final UEFA Nations League group match day / game week stage of the competition, and there's some juicy games in here. I'm recording this before Day 2 of the UEFA Nations League, so I'm recording it Friday afternoon. So there were some upsets last night. Kazakhstan 1v1 with Latvia. Georgia drawing with Andorra, that was a big one. And Croatia beating Spain, another big one that keeps that group very, very interesting. So today we're going to predict the match day number 6 games, which I believe is Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Starting it off with England versus Croatia. Now, obviously, Croatia beating Spain makes things very, very interesting. Whoever wins out of England and Croatia, if there is a winner, goes top of the group. I'm pretty sure that's how it would be after this. I'm not... Is that right? I think that might be right, you know. I don't know. This is a big game, and I think England are going to really turn up. They managed to beat USA 3-0, which was, you know, a fun little game for them. They played decently well, and I just think there's something about England. Even, like, a lot of people, you know, after the World Cup, we thought, okay, well, that's the end of that. You know, we'll go back to being the sort of average kind of national team that we are. But there's a real buzz behind England at the moment. And obviously beating Spain was a great result for them. Just like Croatia beating Spain was a great result for them. And I think England at Wembley are going to turn up and finally get the revenge on Croatia and get to the top of this group. So I think England are going to win this one 3-1. The next game is San Marino against Belarus. What can you say? It's San Marino. They're not doing well at all, and I'm going for a 3-0 win here to Belarus. Coming up after that, we have Northern Ireland versus Austria. Now, Austria, they drew 0-0 last night at the time recording with Bosnia, and I think they should be able to beat Northern Ireland here. I think that should happen. I'm pretty sure Northern Ireland drew with Republic of Ireland 0-0 as well. So a very low amount of goals here in this game. And I'm going with a 1-0 Austria away win. The next game is Moldova versus Luxembourg. Now, I actually predicted Luxembourg to beat Belarus in the first Nations League game that was recently played, and they actually lost to Belarus. But I'm still going with a low-scoring 1-0 Luxembourg win. I think they should be able to do that. The next game is Greece versus Estonia. Now, I have written down here 2-0, but I'm going to change that to 3-0. I think Greece are going to turn up and just beat Estonia quite convincingly at Greece. Estonia having a terrible time. They lost 2-0 to Hungary after drawing 3-3 in the first leg, so that was not really a surprise because that was actually my only correct score for the first day of the UEFA Nations League, but I just see Greece winning this one easily. Greece also managed to hold the in-form Finland to a draw 1-1. So yeah, I definitely think they should be beating Estonia fairly comfortably. The next game is Switzerland versus Belgium. This one's going to be a difficult one. Belgium won the reverse fixture 2-1, I believe, and Belgium are coming off of a 2-0 win against Iceland. And surprisingly, Switzerland are coming off a 1-0 loss to Qatar, which nobody could have possibly predicted. And although Switzerland beat Iceland by a higher goal margin than Belgium did, I think Belgium are just better. They're just a better team, and I think they are going to win this one. I'm going to go with the same score as last time, 2-1. The next one is Hungary against Finland. Now, Hungary, they managed to beat Estonia. They did get that win, but Finland, I think, are better. And I think Finland are going to grab the away win, 2-1 here, cementing them right near the top of their group. I think they are actually at the top of their group, so that would be very good for Finland. Moving on to the next day, Georgia versus Kazakhstan. Georgia having a little bit of a blip against Andorra, but maybe that's because they were already guaranteed qualification. You know, there wasn't really as much to play for, and they still even got a draw out of that, and they had like 80% possession of the game. So whether they were trying as hard as they could or whether they weren't, they still got a draw in the end and had the stats to back that up at least. So I'm going with a 3-1 home win here, Georgia against Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan unable to beat Latvia in a 1-1 draw. The next game of the same group is Andorra, who held Georgia to the 1-1 draw, and Latvia, who held Kazakhstan to the 1-1 draw. And I'm just going to tip Latvia to get over the line here, 2-1. So we'll move swiftly on to Czech Republic versus Slovakia. I'm going with a home 2-1 win to Czech Republic. I'm pretty sure Czech Republic managed to beat Poland as well in the international friendly, which was a big result for them. I think the stats suggested that Poland should have got at least a draw out of that game, but they managed to hold Poland down to the 1-0 win, which is very, very good for them. And I think they're going to be too strong for Slovakia in this game. The one after this, Liechtenstein versus Armenia. Now, obviously, Liechtenstein are doing terribly. I was going to say terribly well there. I don't know why. They're doing terribly. And Armenia, well, you know, they're not the best team, but they are definitely better than Liechtenstein, and it could be more goals than this, but I'm actually going to go for just a 2-0 win, away win to Armenia here. Coming up after that, we have Denmark versus the Republic of Ireland, and what can I say? I think Denmark are going to be too strong here. Denmark are yet to play Wales. They're playing tonight at the time of filming, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I think Denmark are definitely going to be too strong for Ireland. Wales are better than Ireland, I think. And I'm going with a 3-1 win here to Denmark. Now, coming up, we have the great Gibraltar traveling to Macedonia. Now, Macedonia, they are playing some decent football for their sort of standard, if you will, in terms of the UEFA Nations League, and I think they're going to be too strong for Gibraltar. I've put 4-1 here to Macedonia. I'm giving Gibraltar a goal because they have shown they can score a couple, you know? They managed to win a game 1-0. I think maybe they'll be able to nick a goal, but regardless of whether they do, whether they don't, that bit's not really important. I think Macedonia will easily win this game. After this, we have Bulgaria versus Slovenia. Bulgaria doing very, very well, actually, and I've tipped them to win 2-0 here against Slovenia. I don't really have much more to say about that. I just think Bulgaria are going to be a little bit too strong for them. Cyprus versus Norway. Cyprus, they're a bit up and down. You never really know what you're going to get. You'd expect them to lose a game, and they just come out and draw it, and then you'd expect them to win the game, and they just lose. So it's tough to predict Cyprus games, I think, but I'm going with a 1-0 win to Norway here. That's something teams like Norway, Finland, they're very good at getting those low-scoring wins. They're quite solid. I'm going with the Norway 1-0 win here. Now, the next one is Germany against the Netherlands. Now, I can't remember the scoreline, but I know for a fact Germany destroyed Russia in an international friendly. And although the Netherlands did beat Germany, I think it was 3-0, I think Germany are going to step it up at home here. This is a must-win game for them, I think. I'm pretty sure they're at the bottom of the group. I'm going with a Germany 2-1 win. Finally, them getting back onto the form that they should be having, because Germany needs to be playing better than they are. So now we move on to the final day of the UEFA Nations League games. We've got Montenegro against Romania, and Romania are playing very, very well, but Montenegro are also playing fairly well as well, and at home, I think Montenegro are going to be strong enough to hold Romania to a draw, so I'm going to go with a 1-1 scoreline, so it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out. Another big game coming up after that, Sweden hosting Russia. Now, obviously, Russia are decent. They played very well in the World Cup. Sweden played all right too. I think Russia are just going to be slightly too strong here for Sweden, and they're going to take the 2-1 win. The next game after this is Malta against the Faroe Islands. I can't split the two teams. They're equally not that great, so I'm just going with a 1-1 draw for these two teams. And now, the game after that, it is a big one. Portugal against Poland. At the time of recording, Portugal are at the top of the group, and Poland are at the bottom of the group, and I think Portugal will be too strong. Portugal have also got to the top of the group at this stage, mostly without Ronaldo, I think, and Ronaldo should be back for this game. Lewandowski he's starting to score goals. He scored 2 goals against Borussia Dortmund, but they still lost. And he came fairly close, I think, in the Czech Republic friendly game. But I think Portugal are going to be too strong as an overall better team, and I'm going with the home Portugal 2-1 win. The next game is Kosovo versus Azerbaijan. Now, Kosovo are actually fairly decent. Azerbaijan aren't bad for the standard that they're playing at, but I think at home, Kosovo are just going to nick this and edge the game 1-0. We got 2 more games coming up. The next one is Scotland versus Israel. Now, Israel managed to get a shock defeat against Scotland. I think it might have been 2-1. In Israel, but this will be different. It's at home for Scotland. They'll have the home crowd behind them. Scotland are better than Israel despite that last result, and this is a game that they should be winning. Scotland should be finishing high in their group, obviously ahead of Albania as well. So I'm going with the Scotland 2-0 win here. I think they should at least do better than they did in the previous game. And the final game is Serbia against Lithuania. This one was easier for me to predict because Lithuania they're not doing very well at all, and Serbia, they're pretty damn strong for their sort of standard. That's what I usually say about teams if I think they're doing all right. I'm going with a 3-0 home win to Serbia. So that is going to do it for my final Nations League group prediction. Then next year, we'll get to the finals, the knockouts. I'm not actually entirely sure where it goes from here. If it does just straight up go to some sort of finals, we'll find out. But this will be the last UEFA Nations League video for quite some time, I think. And obviously coming up on the channel, we'll have, I think it'll be Premier League next up, and then Champions League very very soon after. And that's going to be exciting because obviously Premier League from the international break is always exciting. And the Champions League, it's the 5th match week. And by the end of the 5th match week, most groups will be pretty much decided as to who qualifies. Obviously, there's the Group C with Liverpool, PSG and Napoli that is so up in the air. If PSG lose to Liverpool on the 5th match day of the Champions League group stages, they are out of the competition and they'll be going to, at most, the Europa League. So that is going to be exciting. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.